Welcome to the 2023 Crime Writers of Canada Awards of Excellence in Canadian Crime Writing. Since 1984, Crime Writers of Canada has recognized the best in mystery, crime, and suspense fiction and crime nonfiction by Canadian authors, including citizens abroad and new residents. The annual awards have grown to 10 categories, including awards for both published and unpublished work. Before we begin, Crime Writers of Canada would like to take a moment to thank the 30 volunteer judges who are from a variety of backgrounds across Canada and who reviewed the over 200 submissions. Thank you, judges, for your time and commitment to making the awards a success. To start our presentation, here is a message from the Crime Writers of Canada Chair, Hyacinth Miller, who will also present the Derek Murdoch Award.
My name is Hyacinth Miller, and I'm proud to be Chair of Crime Writers of Canada. The Crime Writers of Canada Annual Awards celebrate excellence in crime writing, not just mystery writing. This applies to both the fiction and nonfiction categories. What we were looking for, and what our judges found in each shortlisted and winning entry, was quality and originality of the premise and writing, regardless of genre. We received 297 submissions from a widely diverse group of writers. 24 of our CWC members were shortlisted. Congratulations to everyone whose work was entered. We couldn't do it without you. No contest can be successful without an orderly way to assess submissions. The awards committee develops guidelines for the contest criteria and judging processes. As chair of CWC, I'm also chair of the awards committee. My sincere thanks go to Jane Bernard, Jane Burfield, Madeline Harris-Calway, and Ludwika Buta. Their initiative, collaborative focus, and passion for process improvements ensured that things ran smoothly. The CWC Awards of Excellence process begins in late summer every year when we start recruiting our panels of judges. We were successful in attracting 30 effective jury members who brought a diversity of representation from across Canada, including geography, age, culture, experience, and gender identity. Judges included readers, writers, librarians, editors, and booksellers. The guidelines they used cover two aspects of judging: what to look for when evaluating the quality of this year's submissions, and how to work as a judging team to come up with each category shortlist and winner. Applicants are vetted by the jury selection committee, which included Jane Bernard, chair, Bill Selnies, Christopher Porter, Judy Fong, Zaina Gordon, and Ludwika Buta. Our sincere thanks to you all for coordinating the recruitment, selection, and training of our cross-country panels of judges. As you can appreciate, with almost 300 entries in 10 categories and tight timeframes for documenting their decisions, our volunteer judges carried a heavy load. We're grateful to all of them, returning and new, for their energy, thoughtful suggestions, and commitment to the awards process. You too could be an Awards of Excellence judge. Keep an eye out for the next recruitment drive for the 2024 awards. We'd love to have you. On behalf of the board, CWC members, and Awards of Excellence participants, thanks to all of the following champions of crime writing for their continued support. Best Crime Novel, sponsored by Rakuten KOBO. Best Crime First Novel, sponsored by Melodie Campbell. The Whodunit Award for Best Traditional Mystery, sponsored by Jane Doe. The Howard Engel Award for Best Crime Novel Set in Canada, sponsored by Charlotte Engel and CWC. Best Crime Novella, sponsored by Mystery Magazine. Best Crime Short Story, sponsored by Mystery Magazine. Best Juvenile or YA Crime Book, Fiction and Nonfiction, sponsored by Shaftesbury Press. The Brass Knuckles Award for Best NonFiction Crime Book, sponsored by David Reid, Simpson Law Firm. And ECW Press sponsors the Best Unpublished Manuscript. As CWC chair, I had the pleasure of presenting the Derek Murdoch Award to CWC member Jack Batten. This award is issued every 2 years to recognize a member of Crime Writers of Canada who has made significant contributions to the crime, mystery, thriller genre over a long period of time. Jack Batten is an acclaimed freelancer and award-winning author of dozens of fiction and nonfiction books for adults and young people. From 1999 to 2022, Jack wrote hundreds of crime fiction book reviews in his weekly Whodunit column in the Toronto Star. He supported emerging writers and established authors and encouraged readers to discover more about the mystery crime thriller genre. He's written scores of short stories and articles on topics covering music, the law, movies, and sports. His Krang mystery, Straight No Chaser, was shortlisted for the Crime Writers of Canada's 1990 Award for Best Crime Novel. Jack is a gentleman of great talent who, over many years, has selflessly mentored others and shared his love of the written word. We're honored to count him among our members emeritus. We have an ever-expanding archive of video interviews with members, industry professionals, and with the Awards of Excellence finalists and winners. Bookmark our YouTube channel and check back from time to time for fresh content. We are grateful for the scores of volunteers involved in planning, administering, and implementing the awards throughout the year. It takes a lot of work and a lot of cooperation, and we're very grateful. A nonprofit organization like CWC relies on the hard work of a core of dedicated staff. My sincere thanks to Alison Bruce, Executive Director, Ludvika Buta, Associate Executive Director, and Eric D'Souza, Social Media Coordinator, for all they do every day to support Crime Writers of Canada. We can all be proud of the incredible talent our Canadian writers continue to demonstrate in the literary world. Join me in celebrating their accomplishments, big and small, whenever we can. Thank you.
Thank you, Crime Writers of Canada Chair Hyacinth Miller. And now, Crime Writers of Canada are pleased to announce the winners of the 2023 Crime Writers of Canada Awards of Excellence in Canadian Crime Writing. Here to present the award for Best Unpublished Manuscript with a $500 prize, sponsored by ECW Press, is Jennifer Smith.
Thank you. My name's Jennifer Smith, and I'm an acquisitions editor with ECW Press. It's my pleasure to be here today to present the finalists and the award for Best Unpublished Manuscript. The finalists are Jan Garnett for No Safe House, Mary Keenan for Snowed, Joanne Cormelo for Two Knots, Joel Nadecki for The Broken Detective, Michael Pennock for The Peaks. And the winner for Best Unpublished Manuscript is Mary Keenan for Snowed. Mary Keenan Snowed is a fun and engaging small-town cozy mystery. The characters walk right off the page, and the dialogue is fresh and funny. The unique and complex plot comprises a well-paced and intriguing central mystery with many red herrings which unfold in an authentic way to ensure the reader's interest. The judges found the manuscript thoroughly enjoyable, with more than a few good laughs. Congratulations, Mary Keenan.
Thank you, Jennifer and ECW Press. And congratulations, Mary Keenan. And now, Crime Writers of Canada are pleased to announce the winners for its 9 published categories. Our first published category is for Best Crime Short Story, sponsored by Mystery Magazine, with a $300 prize. And the finalists are Craig H. Bowlesby, The Girl Who Was Only 3/4 Dead, Mystery Magazine; M. H. Calway, Must Love Dogs, or You're Gone, Red Dog Press; Blair Keach, To Catch a Kumiho, In the Spirit of 13, Carrick Publishing. Sylvia Maltash-Warsh, The Natural Order of Things, Ellery Queen Mystery Magazine. Donna Lee Moulton, Swan Song, Cold Canadian Crime, Crime Writers of Canada. And the winner for Best Crime Short Story is Craig H. Bowlesby, The Girl Who Was Only Three-Quarters Dead, Mystery Magazine. The judges had this to say about Craig H. Bowlesby's The Girl Who Was Only Three-Quarters Dead. This noir dystopian story, set in Vancouver, BC, finds Suki prematurely awoken from an induced suspension between being alive and dead. With her retinas deactivated and her government persona suspended, it's up to her longtime friend and private investigator, Gabe, to uncover why she was brought back early and the way forward to recover her identity. Through the gritty and flooded streets of East End Vancouver and the mega corporations who control their entire existence, Gabe and Suki scheme to claim what is rightfully Suki's. Excellent world-building details take the readers on a perilous journey. This short story made every word count, leading it to a thrilling conclusion. Congratulations, Craig H. Bowlesby. For Best Crime Novella, sponsored by Mystery Magazine, with a $200 prize, the finalists are M. H. Colway, Amder's Ghost, In the Spirit of 13, Carrick Publishing. Hilary Davidson, Dangerous to Know, A Grinder's Song, Volume 8, Down and Out Books. Julie Heiner, Dead End Track, Julie Heiner. Matt Hughes, The Emir's Falcon, Shadowpaw Press Premiere. Alexis Stevanovich Thompson, The Man Who Went Down Under, Alfred Hitchcock Mystery Magazines. And the winner of Best Crime Novella is Alexis Stevanovich Thompson, The Man Who Went Down Under, Alfred Hitchcock Mystery Magazines. This is what the judges had to say about Alexis Stevanovich Thompson's The Man Who Went Down Under. Duckworth Detective Agency is on the case. The novella pulls the reader in with a dramatic statement. Dalton Duckworth, a young private investigator, might have to travel to Australia to find a massive yellow diamond. It has been stolen right off the head of Joy, a wealthy philanthropist. As he dreams of Down Under, Detective Duckworth takes us from the chatter and safety of his mother's kitchen to the leathery faces and curling mustaches in the world of crime. His mother charms us with her sassy opinions. Girls like that don't have brothers. They shed them somewhere just west of Wichita. And no one comes back from Australia. It's a destination, not a starting point. It becomes clear that she is the brains behind the operation. The writing is fresh, amusing, and clever. We experience the energy of the harbor as seagulls swooped, cranes hoisted, horns honked, stevedores yelled, chains groaned tight on cleats, all in the shadows of the massive ships that rose out of the water like small islands. One villain, a ship's captain, has a face that'd be good for opening a can. This is a fun-to-read story full of twists and turns, and we eagerly read on. Congratulations, Alexis Stevanovich Thompson. And now to present the Brass Knuckles Award for Best Nonfiction Crime Book, sponsored by David Reid Simpson Law Firm, Hamilton, with a $300 prize, is David Simpson.
Hello, my name is David Simpson. I'm a lawyer in Hamilton, Ontario, and I'm the sponsor of the Crime Writers of Canada Award for the Best Nonfiction Crime Book. The award has been nicknamed the Brass Knuckles Award, and that is in memory of a family friend, Robert Bob Knuckle. He sadly passed away in March of 2019. He was the author of several true crime books, several of them dealing with the RCMP, and one of them, this one here, The Flying Bandit, it tells the story of one of Canada's most prolific bank robber and jewelry store robbers. It was turned into a movie last year, a 2022 movie starring Josh Duhamel and Alicia Cuthbert, and you can stream that if you like. So it's that being said, it was renamed simply Bandit if you're looking for it. There's a picture of Bob. So, anyways, although I sponsor the award, I do not have a hand in selecting the shortlist or the ultimate winner. And I'd like to thank the judges for their conscientious work in reading through all the entries and evaluating them and selecting a winner. So, the 5 shortlisted novels for the Brass Knuckles Crime Writers of Canada Award for Best Nonfiction Crime Book are, first of all, here it is, How to Solve a Cold Case, and Everything Else You Wanted to Know About Catching Killers. This is by Michael Arntfield, published by HarperCollins Canada. Then there is The Castleton Massacre. This is co-written by Sharon Ann Cook and Margaret Carson. It is subtitled Survivors' Stories of the Killins Femicide, Dundurn Press Limited. This one is Lost in the Valley of Death, a story of obsession and danger in the Himalayas. It's written by Harley Rusted, NOF Canada, Penguin Random House Canada. Our next nominee, The Betrayal of Anne Frank, a cold case investigation. It's written by Rosemary Sullivan, published by HarperCollins Canada. And last but not least, we have Scoundrel, how a convicted murderer persuaded the women who loved him, the conservative establishment, and the courts to set him free. It's by Sarah Weinman, and it's published by NOF Canada and Penguin Random House Canada. So, congratulations to all the shortlisted authors. I encourage you to read their books and to buy their books. The winner, however, of the Brass Knuckles Award for this year is Rosemary Sullivan for The Betrayal of Anne Frank, a cold case investigation. It is again published by HarperCollins Canada. Here's what the judges from the Crime Writers of Canada had to say about her book. Rosemary Sullivan adeptly documents the investigation into the identity of the informant who betrayed Anne Frank. The examination of this 80-year-old cold case from Nazi-occupied Holland is a fascinating combination of the latest forensic techniques and old-fashioned gumshoe detective work. It is a thoroughly modern story in the questions it raises about culpability and the impact of crime on subsequent generations. Throughout, Canadian author Sullivan's precise writing is chilling in its description of state-sanctioned mass murder and its treacherous ripple effect. The highly attentive editing and detailed citations document evidence in a format that promotes a global discussion about the rise of fascism and the inevitable victims of the crimes it incites. While addressing the universality of evil, Sullivan never loses sight of Anne Frank, her family, and the savage cruelty and terror they endured. So, congratulations to Rosemary Sullivan.
Thank you, David, and congratulations, Rosemary Sullivan. Our next award is for Best Juvenile or YA Crime Book, Fiction and Nonfiction, sponsored by Shaftesbury with a $500 prize. The finalists are Natasha Dean, Lark Steals the Show, Orca Book Publisher; Martha Jocelyn, Aggie Morton Mystery Queen, The Seaside Corpse, Tundra Books; H. N. Khan, Wrong Side of the Court, Penguin Teen; Wesley King, Butt Sandwich and Tree, Simon & Schuster Books for Young Readers; Joe Tragiari, Heartbreak Homes, Nimbus Publishing Limited; And the winner for Best Juvenile or YA Crime Book, Fiction and Nonfiction, is Joe Treggiari, Heartbreak Homes, Nimbus Publishing Limited. This is what the judges had to say about Joe Treggiari's Heartbreak Homes. Heartbreak Homes has all the twists and turns of a classic crime novel and takes the reader from the homes of privileged kids to a desperate squat where a group of girls survive with the barest necessities of life. Opening with a wild teen party where the scene is much more dangerous than any of the revelers would imagine, the story follows one murder after another, and the motives are a terrifying mix of passion, avarice, and the kind of greed that crosses generations. The multiple points of view afford readers a rare insight into the lives of kids who live under the most precarious of circumstances, right under society's nose. This tightly plotted novel will keep readers guessing to the end while taking them on a wild ride through the dark side of a small town as it tips into economic collapse. Recommended for ages 14 and up. Congratulations, Joe Treggiari. And here to present the award for Best French Crime Book, Fiction and Nonfiction is CWC Regional Representative for Ontario Central, East, and the Ottawa region, Norm Boucher.
Hello, everyone. My name is Norm Boucher. I am the regional representative for the Ontario Central, East, and Ottawa region, and I am here to announce the finalists for the Best French Crime Books. Bonjour, mon nom est Normand Boucher. Je suis représentant de la région centrale-Est et Ottawa de l'Association des écrivains du crime du Canada. The finalists for the Best French Crime Book are, les finalistes pour le meilleur polar sont Geneviève Blouin, Le Mouvoir des Anges, édition à lire. Isabelle Fortune, Chaîne de glace, édition XYZ. Guillaume Morissette, Le Dernier Manège, Saint-Jean éditeur. Susan Payne, Modus Operandi, édition Perce-Neige. Richard Sainte-Marie, Monsieur Amerly, édition à lire. And the winner for the Best French Crime Book is, et le gagnant pour le meilleur polar, est Richard Sainte-Marie, Monsieur Amerly, édition à lire. In Monsieur Amerly, Richard Sainte-Marie uses a novel point of view, that of the assassin. Charles, the main character, is presented as methodical and detached from his work, as we would expect. However, the reader is drawn in by Sainte-Marie's diligent portrayal and evolution of Charles' multifaceted character as the novel progresses. As well, the unusual nature and building of Charles' relationship with his mark, Donatella, retain the reader's interest. The dialogue between Charles and the secondary characters reveals depth and in those relationships as well. The use of slang in various dialects is appropriate and effective, as in the information provided through this dialogue. Sainte-Marie uses intelligent and well-researched language that is detailed but not excessively so. The humor expressed through Charles' voice adds to the portrayal of his slightly quirky personality. The occasional asides where the main character speaks directly to the reader about his story and about the book itself reveals some of the quirkiness of the author as well. Congratulations. Félicitations, Richard Sainte-Marie.
Thank you, Norm. And congratulations, Richard Sainte-Marie. To present the Whodunit Award for Best Traditional Mystery, sponsored by Jane Doe with a $500 prize, is a special guest, Melodie Campbell.
I'm Melodie Campbell under deep cover for Jane Doe, who could not be here today. Jane Doe is the sponsor of the Crime Writers of Canada Whodunit Award for the Best Traditional Mystery. And I'm delighted to be here subbing for her. So let me begin by giving you the finalists of the Whodunit Award for Best Traditional Mystery. Alice Bienia, Night in the Museum, Cairn Press. Anne Emery, Fenian Street, ECW Press. Thomas King, Deep House, HarperCollins, Canada. Mary Jane Maffini, Death Plans a Perfect Trip, Beyond the Page. Iona Wishow, Framed in Fire, Touchwood Editions. And the winner of the Whodunit Award for Best Traditional Mystery is Thomas King, Deep House, HarperCollins, Canada. The judges had this to say about Thomas King's Deep House. In Deep House, Thomas King has crafted a timely plot with an environmental angle neatly wrapped around the lingering threads of the pandemic. And in Thump's Dreadful Water, an aging and reluctant investigator, he's given us a protagonist we'd all like to meet. Thumps is a folksy blend of common sense and shrewd intellect who just wants to take his photos and figure out his life. When he's derailed by the discovery of a dead body in one of his photographs, what choice does he have but to investigate? King has surrounded Thumps with a cast of supporting characters unique in their own right, who add texture and humor to the novel without descending into caricature. The jury felt that Thomas King ticked all the boxes of a traditional mystery in Deep House, while constructing a contemporary plot complete with an unusual crime and a satisfying conclusion. Congratulations, Thomas King, and thank you.
Thank you, Melodie Campbell, and congratulations, Thomas King. Our next award is the Howard Engel Award for Best Crime Novel Set in Canada, sponsored by Charlotte Engel and CWC with a $500 prize. To present this award is Charlotte Engel.
Hi everyone, I'm Charlotte Engel, and I'm here to present the finalists for the Howard Engel Award for Best Crime Fiction Set in Canada. I know this organization meant a lot to my dad, and I'm really happy to be here. So the finalists are A.J. Devlin, 5 Moves of Doom, New West Press; S.M. Friedman, Blood Atonement, Dundurn Press; Joanne Jackson, A Snake in the Raspberry Fields, Stonehouse Publishing; Maureen Jennings, Cold Snaps, Cormorant Books; Amy Tector, The Foulest Things, Keelate Books. And the winner of the Howard Engel Award for Best Crime Fiction Novel Set in Canada is Joanne Jackson, Snake in the Raspberry Patch, Stonehouse Publishing. The judges had this to say about the book. A Snake in the Raspberry Patch is a warm, compelling, coming-of-age story set in small-town Saskatchewan in the 1970s. In this safe place, where everyone knows everyone, where nothing really much happens, residents are rocked by a brutal slaying of a local farm family. Liz, a teenager who takes major responsibility for raising 5 younger siblings, narrates the story. She and her precocious younger sister are perceptive observers of town life and active participants in the quest to find the killer. Although local people want to think the murder is the work of a stranger, the sisters come to suspect that someone amongst them is hiding a grisly secret. But what possible motive could they have for killing an entire family? Joanne Jackson skillfully uses humor, suspense, and compassion for her exploration of the darkness that lies beneath the apparent innocence of a small-town life. Congratulations, Joanne Jackson. Way to go.
Thank you, Charlotte Engel, and congratulations, Joanne Jackson. This brings us to the last 2 published categories to be presented. Up first is the Best Crime First Novel, sponsored by Melodie Campbell, with a $1,000 prize. To present the award, here is Melodie Campbell.
Hello, my name is Melodie Campbell. Some of you may know me as the author of the God-Daughter series, or more recently, the Merry Widow Murders. But my association with Crime Writers of Canada goes back more than 15 years, first as executive director and later as a volunteer on board committees. When the opportunity came up to be a sponsor of the awards, I felt this was a perfect way to say thank you to CWC for helping to launch my novel writing career, to pay it forward, in fact. Why the first novel category? Well, I started teaching fiction writing at college in 1992, more than 30 years ago, and encouraging new writers is particularly dear to my heart. I know from experience how winning an award of excellence can propel a career forward. 9 years ago, I won mine. So it gives me great pleasure to announce the following. The finalists for Best Crime First Novel are T. Lawrence Davis, The Pale Horse, Friesen Press. Bill Edwards, Killer Time, Friesen Press. Adam Frost, The Damned Lovely, Down and Out Books. Sam Shelstad, Citizens of Light, Touchwood Editions. M.Z. Erlocker, The Man from Middelwerk, Inkshares Incorporated. And the winner for Best Crime First Novel is Sam Shelstad, Citizens of Light, Touchwood Editions. The judges had this to say about Citizens of Light. It all starts with a young woman at work at a call center. Once she says hello, you just have to keep reading. You are pulled into the novel because of her sincerity and the simple but powerful authenticity of her story. Mix that up with the fact that she believes her husband was murdered, the complicated relationship with her mother, and her unlikely coworker that becomes her best friend, and you are hooked. You want to cheer them on. These characters are rich and real. They evolve and grow. You feel like you know these people, that you might meet them in the checkout line at Walmart. Mr. Shelstad writes convincing, real female characters. This book had a mix of tragedy, sorrow, comedy, edge-of-your-seat tension, love, and celebration. It's a modern story set in Ontario with a simple yet effective style of writing. When you close the cover after turning the final page, there is a smile on your face, and it's all signed, sealed, and delivered in less than 250 pages. Congratulations, Sam Shelstad.
Thank you, Melodie Campbell. And congratulations, Sam Shelstad. And now for the final category for the 2023 CWC Awards of Excellence. The finalists for Best Crime Novel, sponsored by Rakuten KOBO with a $1,000 prize, are Linwood Barclay, Take Your Breath Away, William Morrow. Anthony Bedalka, Going Too Beautiful, Stonehouse Publishing. Nicole Lundrigan, An Unthinkable Thing, Viking Canada. Catherine Mackenzie, Please Join Us, Simon & Schuster, Canada. Shelley Sanders, Daughters of the Occupation, HarperCollins, Canada. The 2023 winner for Best Crime Novel is Anthony Bedalka, Going Too Beautiful, Stonehouse Publishing. The judges had this to say about Anthony Bedalka's Going Too Beautiful. Each with their own unique voice, the eclectic characters in Going Too Beautiful jump off the page and become part of your daily thoughts. Dodging suspicious innuendos and suffering from unprocessed grief, Jack Hardy ventures out in search of answers to his husband's unknown heritage. Along for the emotional roller coaster ride is his glamorous 78-year-old transgender neighbor. The result of their adventurous quest leads to a town which is wonderfully simple and complex at once, and will have you pulling up Google Maps for your next road trip. A beautifully crafted mystery, the plot provides humor, love, and a big twist at the end you won't see coming. Anthony Bedalka's Going Too Beautiful resonates all the feelings that will stay with you long after you read the final page. Highly recommended and a unanimous first place pick. Congratulations, Anthony Bedulka. And congratulations to all the finalists and winners of the 2023 Crime Writers of Canada Awards of Excellence. That concludes our presentation of the 2023 Crime Writers of Canada Awards of Excellence. Before we end, Crime Writers of Canada would like to offer their sincere thanks to our award sponsors: Charlotte Engel, David Reid Simpson Law Firm, Hamilton, ECW Press, Jane Doe, Melodie Campbell, Mystery Magazine, Rakuten KOBO, and Shaftesbury. Crime Writers of Canada would also like to thank Frank Kearney for lending his voice to the presentation, Stone Court Studios, and everyone in the Canadian publishing community for making the Crime Writers of Canada Awards of Excellence a success through the years. For more information about the Crime Writers of Canada and the annual awards, please go to crimewriterscanada.com.